So let us start this today's session. In the previous three sessions, we have seen the expression for the efficiency of Otto cycle, diesel cycle, and dual cycle. So in this, starting with the Breton cycle, Stirling, Ericsson, Atkinson, Dinor. Okay, so we'll just only the PV and TS diagram for those cycles. Okay, so let us start. Okay, I will start with the problem. Okay, I will start with the problem. So as to calculate the efficiency of Otto cycle. So as to calculate the efficiency of Otto cycle. So I will just write down a simple numerical. Okay, an engine working on Otto cycle, an engine working on Otto cycle is supplied with air at 0.1 megapascal, is supplied with air at 0.1 megapascal and 35 degrees Celsius The compression ratio is 8. The heat supplied is 2100 kilojoule per kg. Calculate the maximum pressure. And temperature of the cycle comma the cycle efficiency and cycle efficiency. Okay, the cycle efficiency. Okay, so let us go ahead with the solution of this problem. Okay, we will start with the basic. Okay, what is given in the problem? An engine working on an Otto cycle. Okay, so this is what the first statement is. The engine working on an Otto cycle is supplied with air. Okay, it is supplied with what? Air. Okay, so I'll just write down here. Okay, an engine working on Otto cycle is supplied with air. Okay, so when they mention as air, for air, okay, you should remember these values. Okay, for air, value of Cp is 1.005. Okay, value of Cv is 0.718 and value of R is 0.287. Okay, all these values are in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. All these values are in kilojoule per kg Kelvin, right? So this is what is given. An engine working on Otto cycle is supplied with air at 0.1 megapascal, comma, and 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, an engine working on Otto cycle is supplied with air. So when they mention it as air, for air we need to remember these properties. With air at 0.1 megapascal, right? So 0.1 megapascal, it's nothing but a pressure. Okay, as its unit indicates. So this is nothing but a pressure. So P1 is 0.1 megapascal. Okay, it's supplied with air at 0.1 megapascal and 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, so 35 degrees Celsius, it is nothing but a temperature. Okay, so 35 degrees Celsius is a temperature. Okay, now see the 0.1 megapascal. Okay, 0.1 megapascal I supposed to convert. Okay, what I will do is 0.1 megapascal. Okay, I will convert into Pascal. Okay, 0.1 megapascal, I will convert this into Pascal. Otherwise, okay, when we see this unit, it is in kilo. Okay, the amount of heat supplied, it is in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So I can convert this into kilopascal. Okay, that is again not a problem. I can convert this into kilopascal, right? I will convert this into kilopascal. So 0.1 megapascal, it means Okay, how much kilopascal? Okay, 0.1 into, okay, 10 raised to power 3. Okay, 0.1 into 10 raised to power 3. Okay, so that is nothing but 100 kilopascal, right? This pressure is 100 kilopascal. Okay, so this is 100 kilopascal, and 35 degrees Celsius, it means how much? Okay, how much in Kelvin? 35 degrees Celsius. So 35 plus 273. Okay, so let us do that. Okay, 35 plus 273. Let us do that. Okay, so we'll do that. 35 plus 273, it's coming as 308 Kelvin, right? This is 308 Kelvin. Okay, so see, pressure which was in megapascal, we have converted into kilopascal, right? And the temperature which was given in degree Celsius, we have converted that into Kelvin. Okay, so at 0.1 megapascal and 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, now see, all of you, it's necessary to plot, it's very necessary, okay, to plot the PV diagram, at least PV diagram. Okay, it is expected. Okay, so I will just draw here. Okay, this is pressure scale, this is volume scale. Okay, so see, when we see this PV diagram for the Otto cycle, okay, it is like this. Okay, 1 2 2, okay, then 2 2 3, then 3 2 4, okay, and then 4 2 1. Okay, so this is basically the PV diagram. Okay, PV diagram. See, 1 2 2 and 3 2 4. Okay, when we see these two processes, 1 2 2 and this 3 2 4, okay, they are adiabatic, governed by law PV raised to power gamma is equal to C. At least this is required. During 1 2 2 and during 3 2 4, entropy is constant. Okay, that is adiabatic or isentropic. Okay, and what is during 2 to 3? We are supplying the heat. During 2 to 3, we are supplying the heat. During 4 to 1, we are rejecting the heat, right? During 4 to 1, we are rejecting. So at least this much is expected, right? Okay, so an engine working on Otto cycle is supplied with air at 0.1 megapascal and 35 degrees Celsius. So at point number 1, this is the pressure, okay, and this is the temperature. The compression ratio is 8. Okay, now this is very important. Compression ratio. Okay, so we have defined the compression ratio RC is equal to compression ratio is 8. So RC is 8, right? Compression ratio is 8. Next, heat supplied is 2100 kilojoule per kg. Okay, now you can see in the diagram, during 2 to 3 process, heat it is supplied. Okay, so QS, heat supplied, it is given as 2100 kilojoule per kg, right? See, this is mentioned in the problem. See, the heat is supplied during process 2 to 3, and that we used to call it as QS, and amount of heat supplied, it is 2100 kilojoule per kg. Calculate the maximum pressure. Okay, so as you can see in the diagram, okay, the maximum pressure, can anybody tell me in this cycle, okay, what is the maximum pressure we can have in this cycle? Okay, what is the maximum pressure? Okay, so maximum pressure, it's nothing but a P3. Okay, so they're asking to calculate what is the value of maximum pressure, okay, and the maximum temperature. Okay, now see, during 2 to 3, obviously the heat is added. Okay, so heat temperature after the heat addition, it will be always the maximum temperature. Okay, so pressure P3, it's a maximum. Okay, similarly, temperature at T3 is again a maximum. Why T3 is maximum? Because 2 to 3, it's a heat addition. So temperature after the heat addition, it is always the maximum temperature for that particular cycle, right? So they're asking what is the value of P3 and T3. Okay, next, cycle efficiency. Okay, so they're asking what is the efficiency of this Otto cycle. Okay, so this is a term in which they're interested, right? Now let us start with the solution of the problem. Okay, see, if you want, okay, so see, if you need to calculate the efficiency of cycle, okay, so you know that efficiency of Otto cycle, okay, if you need to calculate the efficiency of Otto cycle, how to calculate efficiency of Otto cycle? Simple. Efficiency of Otto cycle is given by 1 minus 1 upon RC raised to power gamma minus 1. See, this is the simple formula for getting the efficiency of Otto cycle. 1 minus 1 upon RC raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay, this formula we have already derived, okay, in the first lecture, okay, of the gas power cycle. Okay, 1 minus 1 upon RC raised to power gamma minus 1. You can see efficiency of Otto cycle. This we already derived, right? So let us put the values. So 1 minus 1 upon RC. RC, it is directly given in the problem, 8. raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay, what is gamma now? All of you know that. What is gamma? See, what is R? Cp minus Cv is R. Similarly, what is gamma? It is Cp by Cv, right? Cp by Cv is gamma. Okay, and it is always 1.4. Okay, minus 1. Okay, see, if you want, I will here only I will write down gamma is equal to 1.4. Okay, it's adiabatic index, right? So 1 minus 1 upon RC is 8. Gamma is 1.4. See, what is gamma? Cp by Cv is gamma, and Cp minus Cv is R. That is what is written. Right? So when we calculate, let us calculate how much efficiency we will get it for Otto cycle. Okay, so efficiency of Otto cycle we will calculate. Okay, let us see that. So it is 1 minus, okay, 1 upon RC. RC is 8, okay, raised to power gamma, that is 1.4 minus 1. Okay, so how much answer we are getting? We are getting it as 0.5647. Okay, so this is nothing but what? Okay, so it is what? 56.47%. Okay, so this is the efficiency of Otto cycle. Okay, the Otto cycle is 56.47% efficient. Okay, so see, for calculating efficiency, simple. We have a formula. Just okay, we have derived this formula. Just put the values in the formula. You will get the efficiency of Otto cycle. Okay, this is what we have calculated, efficiency of Otto cycle. Right. Let us go to the calculation of P3 and T3. Now see, now all of you see. If you are able to calculate pressure, volume, and temperature at every point, okay, the problem will be solved automatically. Let me clear. What we are interested to calculate, we need to calculate the pressure, volume, and temperature at every point. Okay, how to do that? Let us start with point number 1. Let us start with the point number 1. See, P1, okay, as I told you, okay, we are interested to do that. P1, V1, and T1. Okay, these values should be known. P1, V1, T1. P1 is given in the problem. You can check it. P1 is given. Okay, T1 is also given. T1 is also given. V1 is not given. Right? This is not given. Okay, this is not given. V1 is not given. We are interested to get the value of V1. Okay, how to get V1? See, if you see state number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, at any stage you can apply the ideal gas equation. What is ideal gas equation? Okay, what is the ideal gas equation? Okay, ideal gas equation says that P1 V1 is equal to mRT1. See, this is the ideal gas equation. You can apply at any stage. P1 V1 is equal to mRT1. Okay, similarly you can apply P2 V2 is equal to mRT2. There is no problem, right? P3 V3 is equal to mRT3. P4 V4 is equal to mRT4. Okay, so you can able to apply the ideal gas equation in between any stages, okay, or in between any states. Is that okay? Yes, you can apply this, right? So value of P1 you can see. Okay, value of P1. What is the value of P1 they have given in the problem? Okay, P1 value of P1 is 100 kilopascal. Okay, 100 kilopascal I have taken. V1 I supposed to calculate is equal to mass. Okay, mass. Now see what value of mass I should take, right? That is again problem, because see, V1 is not known, mass is again not known. See, when you see this amount of heat supplied, this much amount of heat is supplied for 1 kg of mass, right? 2100 kilojoule of heat is supplied for 1 kg of mass. That means everything we need to calculate for 1 kg of mass. Okay, what do you understand by per kg? Kilojoule per kg. That means it is for 1 kg. So it means mass we need to take it as 1 kg. Okay, mass I have taken as 1 kg. Okay, R, value of R I have written 0.287. Okay, into T1, temperature T1. Okay, what is the value of T1? You can see this one, 308, right? 308. Okay, so let us do that. Let us calculate V1. So let us calculate V1 from this expression. Okay, V1 is given by, okay, we are supposed to calculate that. So it is 1 into 0.287 into 308 divided by 100 divided by 100. Right, so this is how we'll get volume. Okay, it's at 0.88, okay, 396. So I'll make it as 4. Okay, 0.884. Now see, this is the value of V1 I got, right? But see, V1 you can't write down in terms of meter cube only. You will not be able to write down. because this much amount of volume is available for 1 kg of mass. So that is to be written as meter cube per kg. Okay. So this is very required. This is not the volume for total mass. It is only for 1 kg of mass, right? Because we assume the mass to be equal to 1. So this is a specific volume. You can call it as a specific volume, right? So value of V1 we know, right? So now see, when we see RC, okay, RC it is given as 8. RC is given as 8. Now see, if you just refer the expression, okay, what is RC? What is the RC? Okay, when we see the expression for the Otto cycle, okay, and when you see what is RC, can anybody tell me what is RC? Compression ratio. What is compression ratio? Can anybody is able to tell me what is compression ratio? See, compression ratio, it's the ratio of volume before the compression, okay, to the volume after the compression. Okay, compression ratio, it's a ratio of volume before the compression to the volume after the compression. Is that okay? Yes or no? See, how to write down compression ratio? Compression ratio, it's nothing but volume before the compression to the volume after the compression. You see, this we already exercised. Okay, RC is given as 8, and RC it's nothing but volume before the compression to the volume after the compression. Okay, this already we have seen. Okay, so RC I will write down as 8. Value of V1 is 0.884. Okay, value of V2 I'm interested to calculate. Okay, so let us check what value of V2 will get. So V2 is given by, let us calculate that. This is 0.084. Okay, by 8. Okay, so this is the volume we are getting, 0.1105. Okay, meter cube per kg, right? Meter cube per kg. Okay, so this is the volume what we got. Okay, see, this is a volume, right? This is a volume what we got. This is a volume we got V2, right? Let's see, value of V1 we have calculated, right? V1 it was initially not known, so V1 we have calculated. Okay, so once V1 is known, V2 we have calculated. Because see, ultimately what we want, okay, we want all the values at point number 2 should be known, right? See, P2, V2 and T2, right? So P2, V2 and T2 should be known, right? P2, V2 and T2 should be known. Okay, how to go for that? Okay, how to calculate V2? V2 I have calculated by using, okay, see, V2 is not known. Okay, similarly T2 is not known. Similarly P2 is not known. Nothing is known. Okay, so once I have the value of V1, what I use the expression for the compression ratio. It's V1 by V2. So from that I got V2, right? Now V2 is known. Right? Now see, all of you, one more term we have yet not used. Okay, and that is nothing but heat supplied. I don't understand. Heat supplied we have yet not used. See, P1 we have used, T1 we have used, RC we have used. This heat supplied we have not used. So let us use that. Okay, now see, here only I will write down. Okay, how QS is how much? QS it is given as 2100, right? QS is given as 2100. But what is QS? How to calculate heat supplied during 2 to 3? Heat is supplied during 2 to 3 at a constant volume. Okay, so formula is M into CV into final temperature. Okay, that is highest temperature minus lowest temperature. Okay, see, QS is given by mass into CV. Okay, M into CV into T3 minus T2, because temperature T3 is greater than T2. Okay, T3 is greater than T2. Is that okay? Yes. See, this formula again also we have seen when we see the expression for the efficiency of Otto cycle. Okay, so value of QS is given. You can check it as well. Okay, see here all of you. QS, value of QS is given 2100. All of you see, value of QS is given 2100 is equal to mass. Okay, we have taken as 1. Okay, CV, what is the CV? Value of CV 0.718. Okay, now T3 is we are supposed to calculate, but T2 we don't know. Okay, T2 we again don't know, right? How to do that? how to calculate T2? Okay, now for that, now see all of you, 1 to 2. See, what is 1 to 2? It's an isentropic compression. So see this expression we have written, T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 raised to power gamma minus 1 by gamma is equal to V1 by V2 raised to power gamma minus 1, right? So how we write down T2? T2 is equal to T1 into RC raised to power gamma minus 1. See, if you want, I will just rewrite that same expression again. Okay, see, T2 by T1 is given by P2 by P1 raised to power gamma minus 1 by gamma is equal to V1 by V2 raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay, let us equate these two. Let us equate these two. Okay, so T2 is given by T1. T2 is given by T1 into what? This V1 by V2. V1 by V2 is RC, right? This is RC raised to power gamma minus 1, right? So T2 is equal to T1. What is T1? What is the value of T1? T1 is 308. It is mentioned. RC is given as 8. Gamma is 1.4 minus 1. Okay. So from this, let us calculate the value of T2. Okay. Because everything is known. Okay. Now let us calculate T2. To T2, we are supposed to calculate. Okay. So it is 308 into 8 raised to power 1.4 minus 1. 1.4 minus 1. So this is the value of T2 what we got. 707.6 Kelvin. 707.6 Kelvin. Right? Okay, so this is the value which we got. So now we got T2, right? Now once we have T2, we can put it here, right? We can put it here. Okay, so as to get the value of T3. Okay, so I will rewrite it again, not a problem. See here, all of you. So I will write down here now. Okay, QS, amount of heat supplied, is given by M into CB into T3 minus T2. Okay. So this value is given 2100 is equal to mass is 1, CV is 0.718, T3 I supposed to calculate 0.6. Okay. Let us calculate T3. Okay, we are interested now to get the value of P3. Now we want the P3 value of P3. Okay. Now see how to get P3. Okay, how to get P3? Now, can anybody tell me how to get P3? Now see 2 to 3, it is nothing but what? Constant volume process, right? 2 to 3, it's a constant volume process. Now I will write down the expression like P2 V2 is equal to MRT2. Try to understand. Okay, same like stage number 1, I have written as P2 V2 is MRT2. Okay, again I will write down P3 V3 is equal to MRT, right? P3 V3 is MRT. Okay, so from this expression I will write down P2 V2 by T2 is equal to MR, right? Here I will write down P3 V3 by T3 is equal to MR, right? So I will equate these two now. Okay, so what I will get? I will get P2 V2 by T2 is equal to P3 V3 by T3, right? So this is the expression. See, these two nothing but are ideal gas equations. Okay, I equated those two. Okay, now see, when we move from 2 to 3, what happens? Volume is held constant. Okay, so but I will write down, but V2 is equal to V3. V2 is equal to V3. Okay, so what I will get is P2 by T2 is equal to P3 by T3. Right? P2 by T2 is equal to P3 by T3. Right? Is that okay? See here, P2 by T2 is equal to P3 by T3. Right? Now see, for this you should require T2, value of T2. Okay, value of T2 we know, just now we have calculated. You can see here, value of T2 we know, right? Value of T2 is known. Value of T3 is also known. right? T3 is also known. Value of P3 I am interested to calculate. Okay, this value I want. This value I want. Okay, but in order to get the value of P3, P2 should also be known, right? P2, T2, T3. Okay, all this should be known. But when we see value of P2 is not known, value of P2 is not known. So for that, first I need to calculate P2. Okay, so P2 by P1 is equal to V1 by V2 raised to power gamma, right? When we bring this 1 by gamma here, it becomes gamma. So P2 by P1 is V1 by V2 raised to power gamma. Okay. Now how will you get P2? So P2 is equal to P1 into V1 by V2 raised to power gamma. See, you equate any, either you equate these two or you equate these two, not a problem, right? So let us calculate the value of P1. Okay, P2. Now for that, what is the value of P1? P1 is given as 100 kilopascal, 100 kilopascal. Into what is V1 by V2? It's RC only, right? V1 by V2 is RC, and that is nothing but 8. And gamma is 1.4, right? Gamma is 1.4. So let us calculate P2 now. Okay, so 100 into 8 raised to power 1.4. Okay, so this is the value of pressure what we got, 1837.91 kilopascal. Okay, 1837.91 kilopascal. Is that okay? So now we have P2. Okay, let us put the value here. P2 is also known now. Okay, so P2 value I'll put 1837.91 upon T2. Value of T2 I already got 707.6 is equal to P3 I supposed to calculate upon T3 value is known 3632.39. Okay, see, instead of going in a straight manner to solve the problem, let us write down the formula, and in that formula what are the terms that are required that we will calculate. Okay, and then we will substitute. This is the only or better way to understand. See, instead of, if I ask you to calculate T2, then P2, then T3, okay, you will not be in a position to understand why we are calculating. Okay, so let us first write down the formula which is required for the calculation. In that formula, what are the terms that are required? Then we will calculate those terms, and then we'll resubstitute in the that generalized formula, right? So now let us calculate P3. P3. How to calculate P3? Okay, so let us do this calculation. Okay, let us do this calculation. P3. So P3 will calculate now. Okay, so P3, how to calculate P3? P3 is, okay, 1837.91, okay, divided by 707.6 into 3632.39. It is 9434.71 kilopascal. Okay, so this is the value. What? This is the value. Yes. Is that okay? Yes, is that okay? Is that okay, all of you? Let me know. Is that okay? Yes. So that we can move to the next problem. All of you, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So okay, we have taken now one problem on Otto cycle. Okay, let us try one more problem. Diesel cycle. Okay, let us do that. Okay, problem on. Okay, so I'll just write down. Okay, I'll just write down the problem now. In an air standard diesel cycle, compression ratio okay, when we see the previous problem, okay, on an Otto cycle the compression ratio was 8. You can check the compression ratio was 8. Okay, now when we work on a diesel cycle, you can see what is the compression ratio. It's 16, right? So in a diesel cycle you have a higher compression ratio as compared to the Otto cycle. Okay, that is the reason why the air standard diesel cycle compression ratio is 60. Right? At the beginning of the isentropic compression, at the beginning of isentropic compression, the temperature is 15. The temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. The temperature is 15 degrees Celsius, and pressure is 0.1 megapascal. The is applied per kg of air. Third, what is the third? The cycle efficiency. Third is cycle efficiency. Okay, and fourth is mean effective pressure. Mean effective pressure. Okay. See, the problem is looking to be somewhat lengthy. Okay, but it's not like that. Okay, solution is very simple. In an air standard diesel cycle, see what I mentioned, in an air standard diesel cycle. See, for air, let's start with that. Okay, so for air, okay, all of you need to remember the value. Cp is 1.005. Okay, Cv is 0.718. Okay, so R, that is the difference between Cp and Cv. Okay, it will come as 0.287, and all these values are in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Okay, similarly, you should remember the value of gamma is 1.4. That is basically the ratio of Cp by Cv. Okay, so for air standard diesel cycle, compression ratio is 16. Okay, so we used to write down compression ratio as RC, and that is given as 16. Okay, compression ratio is 16. Right? At the beginning of isentropic compression, at least. Okay, so let us start this. Okay, this is pressure scale, this is volume scale. Now we should plot the PV diagram for the diesel cycle, right? For the diesel cycle. Okay, so I'll just write fastly. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Okay, 1 to 2 we will compress. 3 to 4. What is 1 to 2? 1 to 2 is isentropic compression, right? 1 to 2 is isentropic compression, and 3 to 4 is isentropic expansion. Okay, so I'll just show here 1 to 2 and 3 to 4. They are isentropic governed by law P for gamma is equal to C. Isentropic compression, isentropic expansion. What is 2 to 3? Okay, it's a constant pressure heat. It's a constant pressure heat addition. Okay, now what is 4 to 1? It's a constant volume heat rejection. It's a constant volume heat rejection. Okay, so see, this is enough to understand or to write isentropic compression. So when we see the point number 1, it's a beginning of isentropic compression. Okay, point number 1 is the beginning of isentropic. So isentropic compression will start from point number 1. So at the beginning of isentropic compression, temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, so temperature at point number 1 is 15 degrees Celsius. Obviously, okay, we need to convert these 15 degrees Celsius, okay, into Kelvin, right? So you can do that. Okay, okay, all of you see 15 plus 273. I will add, right? 273. So it is 288 Kelvin. So that is nothing but 288 Kelvin, right? So temperature we have converted, okay, into temperature we have converted into Kelvin. Okay, the temperature is 15 degrees Celsius and pressure is 0.1 megapascal. Okay, pressure P1 is 0.1 megapascal. Okay, so again what we'll do, okay, we'll multiply it by 1000. Okay, so it becomes in kilopascal. Okay, we'll multiply it by 1000, so it becomes in kilopascal. Right. Next, the heat is added until the temperature at the end of constant pressure process is 1480. Now see, you're saying the heat is added. We need to add the heat until what? The temperature at the end of constant pressure process is 1480. Okay. So see, 2 is the starting of the constant pressure process. 3 is the ending of the constant pressure process. So we want the temperature at the end of the constant pressure process to be equal to 1480. 1480. Okay, 1480 degrees Celsius, right? 1480 degrees Celsius. So again, we want to convert that into Kelvin, right? So 1480 plus 273. So this is nothing but 1753 Kelvin, right? 1753 Kelvin, right? So, okay, see, this is what is said. The heat is added until the temperature at the end of constant volume pressure process is 1480. Okay, next, what are you asking? Calculate the cutoff ratio. Okay, cutoff ratio. What is cutoff ratio? Cutoff ratio, it's indicated by rho. Okay, cutoff ratio, it is indicated by rho. They're asking. Okay, next, the heat supplied per kg of air. Okay, so they're asking what is the heat supplied? QS. So obviously heat is supplied during which process? 2 to 3. So we need to calculate the QS. Next, cycle efficiency. So efficiency of diesel cycle they're asking. Okay, what is the efficiency of diesel cycle, right? Next, mean effective pressure. See, this is a somewhat new term. Okay, mean effective pressure, MEP we used to call it as. Okay, so let us calculate. Okay, now see, as I told you, okay, so let us start with point number 1. Let us start with point number 1. Okay, so see, P1, V1 and T1, we are interested to calculate each. So that is supposed to calculate. T1 is given. You can see T1 is given. T1 is given. See, P1 and T1 are given. V1 is not given. How to calculate that? Okay, we will apply the ideal gas equation. P1 V1 is equal to MRT1 as like last problem. What is P1? Okay, it is given as 100 kilopascal into V1. I supposed to calculate. Now see what they're saying. Okay, they are asking to calculate everything for per kg. Okay, per kg. They're asking to calculate everything per kg. What is per kg? It's a 1 kg. Okay, so we'll assume the mass to be equal to 1. Okay, so everything what we'll get, it will be for 1 kg of mass. Okay, so mass is 1, R is 0.287 into temperature T1 is 288. So from that, let us calculate V1. Let us do that. Okay, how to calculate V1 now? Let us do the calculation. Okay, so we'll calculate this V1 as 1 into 0.287 into 288. Okay, divided by 100. All of you can see 288 divided by 100. Okay, all of you, is that okay with this one? Yes, let me know. 1 into 0.287 into 288 divided by 100. So what value of volume we are getting? We are getting 0.8266 meter cube per kg. Meter cube per kg. See, this is nothing but your volume, right? This is the volume for 1 kg of mass. Okay, this is in meter cube. Is that okay? Is that okay? This is the volume. Now we have the value of V1. Now we have the value now V2. All of you see here. RC, value of RC is given as 8. You can see value of, sorry, 16. Value of RC is given as 16. Value of RC is given as 16. Now what is the RC? It's volume before the compression to the volume after the compression, right? Okay, RC is volume before the compression to the volume after the compression. Okay, so 16 is given by V1. I know that value 0.8266 divided by V2, right? So now I will calculate V2. Value of V2 I will get. See, RC it is given in the problem. RC compression ratio is 16. What is compression ratio? It's the volume before the compression to the volume after the compression. Okay, volume before the compression I have already calculated. Okay, now I will calculate V2. Okay, so it is how to calculate that. Okay, so this is 0.8006 divided by 60. So this is nothing but 0.0517, okay, meter cube per kg. Okay, so this is the volume. Okay, so this is the volume what we got, V2 volume, right? Is that okay or not? See, because what I require is, okay, I require P2, V2 and T2. I require this P2, V2 and T2, right? So now I got V2. Now I got V2. Okay, similarly I should know P2. I should know T2, right? These things should be known to me. P2 should be known, V2 should be known, okay, T2 should be known. Just now I have calculated V2. V2 just now I calculated, right? Next. Okay, now see all of you. 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is again isentropic compression, right? 1 to 2 is isentropic compression. Okay, so we can write down this law. T2 by T1 is P2 by P1 raised to power gamma minus 1 by gamma is equal to V1 by V2 raised to power gamma minus 1. See, same. Whenever it's a isentropic, we will be able to write down this law. Okay. Now see, I want T2. I want to. Okay, so what I will do, I will equate these two. I will equate these two. Okay. So what is the value of T2? T2 is given by T2 is T1. T2 is equal to T1. Okay, into V1 by V2. V1 by V2 is RC. Okay, RC raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay. So T2 is given by T1. What is T1? Value of T1 is given 288. RC is given as 16. Okay, raised to power gamma is 1.4 minus 1. Right? So from this we will get the value of T2. Let us get the value of T2. So T2 will get it as 288 into RC is 16 raised to power 1.4 minus 1. 1.4 minus 1. So this is the value what we got, 873.05 Kelvin. 873.05 Kelvin, right? Now see, all of you see here. See, when the fluid get compressed from 1 to 2, what happens? Obviously, temperature will increase. So obviously, T2 is greater than T3. T1, sorry, T2 is greater than T1. When we will compress from T1 to T2, what will happen? T1 will increase to T2. Okay. So you will get the value of T2 which is greater than T1. right? So now we got T2. Okay, now we got T2. See, all of you, see, everything was unknown. Okay, so initially we have calculated V2, now we have calculated T2. Okay, then let us calculate now P2. Let us calculate P2 now. Okay, so for calculating P2, okay, what we will do is we will equate this, right? We will equate again the last two equations. Okay, let us equate last two equations. Okay, how to do that? See here, all of you. Okay, I will equate now these two. I'll equate now these. Okay, these two or these two. Anything you can equate. I will equate these two now. Okay, so when I equate these two, what I'll get? P2 by P1 raised to power gamma minus 1 by gamma is equal to V1 by V2 raised to power gamma minus 1. Right? Now what I'll get here? Okay, gamma minus 1 gets cancelled. P2 by P1 raised to power 1 by gamma is equal to V1 by V2 raised to V1 by V2, right? Okay, now see, when we bring this term, or when we bring this power on the right hand side, okay, what will happen? We'll get P2 is equal to P1, okay, into V1 by V2 raised to power gamma, right? So this is how we'll get P2. So let us calculate the value of P2. P2 is given by value of P1. P1 it is already given 100 kilo Pascal into V1 by V2. V1 by V2 is RC, right? RC is 16 raised to power 1.4. See, V1 by V2 is RC, right? V1 by V2 is RC. If you want, I will just write down here. So is equal to P1 into RC raised to power gamma, right? So let us calculate P2, value of P2. $100 into 16 raised to power 1.4. Okay, so this is the value of P2 what we got. 4850.29 kilopascal. Okay, so this is the value what we got. Yes. So P2 now, right? See, we are going. Okay, now see, value of P2 we got, right? Now what they're asking, okay, what they're asking to calculate what is rho. It's a cutoff ratio. Okay, so now see, with point number 2 we have finished everything. V2 we have calculated, T2 we have calculated, P2 we have calculated. Now see, there is nothing to at state number 2 that we are supposed to calculate. Everything we have calculated. Now let us move to point number 3. Okay, let us move to point number 3. Okay, now see, when we see this process 2 to 3, okay, when we see this process 2 to 3, process 2 to 3, okay, it's a constant pressure process. Okay, so see, the equation which I've written for state number 1, I will now write down for state number 2 and state number 3. Okay, how to do that? See here, all of you. P2 V2 is equal to MRT2. Okay, so from this expression, we will write down P2 V2 by T2 is equal to MR, right? Similarly, I will just write down as P3 V3 is equal to MRT3. So from this expression, I will write down P3 V3 by T3 is equal to MR, right? Now see, when we compare the right hand sides, we can equate their left hand sides, right? So P2 V2 by T2 is equal to P3 V3 by T3. See, same sort of equation we have written in the last numerical only. Okay, but here what is the change? Here you can see P2 is equal to P3, right? So I need to write down, but is equal to P3. So what new equation we'll get? We'll get V2 by T2 is equal to V3 by T3. Okay, so this is the equation what we got. V2 by T2 is V3 by T3, right? So value of V2, whether we know the value of V2, yes, we know that 0.0517. 0.0517. Okay, this is V2. T2, okay, T2, value of T2 we have calculated 873.05. 873.05. You can see this 873.05 is equal to V3. V3 we don't know. Okay, V3 we are supposed to calculate. T3, value of T3 is given in the problem. Okay, 1753 Kelvin, right? 1753 Kelvin. Okay, so from this we will get the value of which term? V3. We'll get the value of V3, right? V3. So let us calculate that. Okay, V3. How to calculate V3? It is 0.0517 divided by 873.05 into 1753. So we'll get V3 is equal to 0.1038 meter cube per kg. Okay, all of you try to understand. See, if you want, I will just recap that. Okay, see here. See, now once we have finished with the P2, okay, that means at point number 2, we have finished everything, right? Now let us calculate P3, V3, and T3. Try to understand. Okay. P3, V3, and T3. Out of that, see, you can see P3. What is P3? P3 is same as P2. Okay, I'll just write down. This P3 is nothing but P2. P3 is nothing but P2. Now, what is T3? T3 is already given in the problem. T3 is already given. Yes, P3 is given. What is about V3? V3 is not given. So for V3, what we have done, see, P3 is same as P2. Value of P2 is known. T3, it is given in the problem. V3 is not known. For getting V3, we have equated ideal gas equation and we got the value of V3. Right. Now let us go to the first step. What is called as cutoff ratio, rho. Okay, rho is called as cutoff ratio. And what is cutoff ratio? Cutoff ratio rho is indicated as it's the ratio of volume after the heat addition, okay, to the volume before the heat addition. Okay, so it's nothing but V3 by V2. I repeat, cutoff ratio, it's the ratio of volume after the heat addition to the volume before the heat addition. So V3 is the volume after the heat addition. V2 is the volume before the heat addition. So ratio of V3 by V2, it's the cutoff, right? So value of V3 is known 0.1038, 7, okay, 0.0517. So let us calculate the efficiency. Okay, sorry, cutoff ratio. So cutoff ratio is 0.1038 divided by 0.0517. So we are getting cutoff ratio equal to 2. Cutoff ratio equal to 2. Okay, approximately 2. Okay, 2.0077, right? So I will just write down that. Okay, when we have taken the derivation, cutoff ratio, it's the ratio of volume after the heat addition to the volume before the heat addition. So rho we have calculated, right? Now let us go to the next term. Okay, how to calculate the heat supplied? Okay, let us go to the next. Okay, how to calculate heat supplied? Heat supplied, they are asking, right? QS. So see, all of you, if you need to calculate heat supplied, you can see heat is supplied at a constant pressure, right? How the heat is supplied? Heat is supplied at a constant pressure. So formula is M into Cp into, okay, highest temperature minus lowest temperature. See, during 2 to 3, heat is supplied. So obviously, the temperature after the heat addition will be greater than the temperature. Why I have taken Cp? Because heat is added at a constant pressure. So that is the reason it is MCP, right? Now let us calculate that. Okay, so M mass is 1. Okay, Cp is 1.005. T3, value of T3 it is given in the problem 1753 minus T2. See, 1753 is T3 and T2 we have calculated 873.05. 873.0, right? So from this, okay, we will get the amount of heat supplied. Let us do the calculation. Okay, so mass is 1 into Cp is 1.005 into 1753 minus 873. Right, so it is 884.35 kilojoule per kg. Okay, you'll get an answer in terms of kilojoule per kg. The reason is, okay, this Cp is in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Kilojoule per kg Kelvin, okay, multiplied by Kelvin. Okay, kilojoule per kg Kelvin multiplied by Kelvin. So it's kilojoule per kg, right? Kilojoule per kg. Okay, so this is the amount of heat supplied what we want. Next, they're asking to calculate efficiency. Okay, how to calculate efficiency? How to calculate efficiency? See, in the last lecture only, okay, we have seen the formula, okay, or expression for the efficiency of okay, diesel cycle. Okay, we have seen the formula for efficiency of diesel cycle. Okay, so if you can just recollect, okay, what formula efficiency of diesel cycle. Anybody is able to recall that formula? Okay, what was that formula? The formula was like this: 1 minus 1 upon RC raised to power minus 1 into bracket, okay, rho raised to power gamma minus 1 upon gamma into numerator. 1 minus 1 minus, right? So let us do the calculation. 1 minus 1 upon RC. RC, value of RC is given 16. 16. Gamma is 1.4 minus 1, right? 1.4 minus 1 into bracket. Rho just we have calculated 2. Value of rho is 2. So 2 raised to power 1.4 minus 1 upon 1.4, and rho is 2 minus 1. See, very simple. I just only put the values in this particular formula, and let us calculate the efficiency of diesel cycle. Okay, so how to get the efficiency of diesel cycle? Okay, it is given by 1 minus 1 upon RC is 16 raised to power 1.4 minus 1 into bracket 2 raised to power 1.4 minus 1 upon 1.4 into 2 minus 1. Okay, so what value of efficiency you are getting? You are getting as 0.6138. See, this is the efficiency of diesel cycle, right? This is the efficiency of diesel. Is that okay? See, this is the efficiency of diesel cycle. Is that clear? Let me know. Is that okay, all of you? Yes. Is that okay to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now see one more additional term which is called a mean effective pressure. Okay, how to calculate it? Okay, it's very simple. Mean effective pressure. Okay, so mean effective pressure, it is nothing but, okay, it's a ratio of net work upon heat supply. Okay, it's a ratio of what? Mean effective pressure. It's a ratio of net work upon heat supplied. Okay, upon heat supply. It's a ratio of net work. How you calculate net work? Net work, it's nothing but a net heat transfer. Net heat transfer, okay? Or see, mean effect. See, I need to correct it. Mean effective pressure, it's a ratio of net work to the swept volume. Sorry, it's a ratio of net work to the swept volume. Okay, it's a ratio of net work to the swept volume. Okay, swept volume. I'll just write on this as BS. Mean effect, it's a ratio of net work to the swept volume. Net work to the swept volume. Is that okay? Now see here, all of you. Now see how to get a network. Network is equal to net heat transfer upon swept volume. Swept volume I will indicate as VS. VS is a swept volume. See, if you want, I'll just write on VS. Network upon swept volume. Now how to calculate swept volume? Swept volume, it's nothing but difference between V1 and V2. Swept volume, it's nothing but a difference between V1 and V2. Right? swept volume, it is nothing but difference between V1 and V2, right? So V1 and V2, let us take the difference between these two. Okay, so V1 is 0.8266 minus V2 is 0.0517. Okay, so this difference is 0.7749. Okay, so this is nothing but called as swept volume. This is called as a swept volume. Difference between V1 and V2 is called as swept volume. Okay, now how to calculate net heat? Okay, so in order to calculate net heat, how to calculate net heat? Net heat transfer is given by what is the heat supplied minus heat rejected, right? Heat supplied minus heat rejected, right? So heat supplied we already calculated. Heat supplied we already know. I'll just write down. Heat supplied is known 884.35 minus heat rejected that we don't know. Heat rejected we don't know, right? Heat rejected we don't. So heat rejected now we need to calculate. Right. So we need to calculate heat rejected. So during which process heat is rejected? During 4 to 1. During 4 to 1, the heat is rejected, right? So heat rejected is given by heat is rejected at a constant volume. So formula is MCV. Heat is rejected during process 4 to 1 and it is rejected at a constant volume. So formula is MCV. So MCV into, okay, into what? T4 minus T1. T4 minus T1. See, during 4 to 1, the heat is rejected. Okay. So I will take it as T4 minus T1 because T4 is greater than T1. Okay. See, because 4 to 1 is a heat rejection. Process 4 to 1 is a heat rejection. So what will happen? So the temperature T4 will decrease to T1. Temperature T4 will decrease to T1. Okay, so that's why I taken T4 minus T1, right? So I'll just take now M mass I will take it as 1. Okay, CV, okay, CV is 0.718 into T4. T4 I don't know now. See, T4 I don't know. Minus T1. T1 I know, right? T1 I know, that is 288. Try to understand. See, for getting net heat transfer, I required heat rejected. For getting heat rejected, I required T4. So until and unless I calculate T4, I won't be able to calculate QR. If okay, when I calculate QR, I will get Q net, and this is how I'll solve. Okay. Now let us get the value of T4. How to get the T4? Okay, as like 122, it is what? 122 is isentropic. Similarly, 3 to 4 is again isentropic. Okay, so I will just write down the law for that process. Okay, you can see as like 1 to 2. Okay, you can see as like 1 to 2. I will write down the law for 3 to 4. Okay, so what is that law? T4 by T3 is equal to P4 by P3 raised to power gamma minus 1 by gamma is equal to V3 by V4 raised to power gamma minus 1. I repeat. See, the law which are written for 1 to 2, I'm writing the same law for 3 to 4 because 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 are isentropic. So I just written this law. Okay, I've just written this law, right? So now I want T4. For getting T4, okay, I should know which value. For getting T4, okay, rest of the values should be known. Okay, rest of the values should be known. I should know V3, I should know V4. What is the value of V3? Whether I calculated V3, value of V3 I know. Value of V3 I know. V3 I know, right? Okay, what is the value of V4? Okay, you can check. Value of V4 is same as V1. Right? See, value of V4 is same as V1. Okay, so let us do that. T4 is given by, I will equate these two. T4 is given by T3 into V3. Value of V3 I will write down as it is V3, and V4 is same as V1, right? You can see the diagram. V4 is same as V1. Okay, raised to power gamma minus 1, right? So E is equal to T3. T3 we have already calculated. It is given in the problem. T3 1753, right? It's a 175. V3, value of V3 we already calculated 0.1038, right? 0.1038, okay, upon V3 is 0.1038 upon V1. Now what is V1? 0.8266. 0.8266. Okay. Raised to power gamma is 1.4 minus 1. All right. So from this we will get T4. T4. Let us get the value of T4. Okay, 1753 into inside this 0.1038 raised to power 1.4 minus 1. Okay, so that is 764.44 Kelvin. Okay, so this is the value of T4 what I got, 764.44 Kelvin. Is that okay, all of you? Let me know. Is that okay or not? See, we are moving in a reverse direction. T4. Now, once I have T4, I will calculate QR. I will calculate QR now. M, okay, M into CV. I will just directly write down that. Okay, M is 1 into CV 0.718 into T4 is now only I got 764.44 minus T1 is 288. Okay. So this is 342.08 kilojoule per kg. Okay, this is amount of heat reject, QR. Okay, we have substituted here, so we got QR. Now let us calculate QNet. So from this, we will calculate QNet. QNet, it is supplied minus rejected. So 884.35 minus this one, right? Okay, so 884.35 minus answer. 884.35 minus 342.08. Okay, so this is 542, 542.27. This is again kilojoule per kg. Okay, right? Now QNet we have. Now let us calculate this mean effective pressure. So mean effective pressure is a QNet. QNet we got now 542.27. Okay, 542.27 upon swept volume. Swept volume is 0.7749. Okay, 0.7749. So let us calculate that. So 542.27 divided by 0.7749. So it's 699.79 okay, kilopascal. Right. So this is the mean effective pressure water. Right? This is the mean effective pressure water. Is that okay, all of you? Let me. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay or not? See, the problem was quite lengthy if you compare it with the previous problem. Okay. Because here everything was expected to be calculated. Right? Is that okay with this one? Is that okay, all of you? Let me know. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was a numerical which was on the diesel side, right? So see, we have started with the expression for the Otto cycle. Okay, we have started with the numerical on Otto cycle. Then we have seen it on the diesel cycle. Okay, now let us take one more numerical. Okay, for the dual cycle. Okay, so let us take the numerical on a dual cycle. Okay, so can we start, all of you? Okay, shall I start? Yes, can we start? Okay, so I will start now. In an air standard dual cycle, okay, in an air standard, in an air standard dual cycle, in an air standard dual cycle, the pressure and temperature are, the pressure and temperature are, the pressure and temperature are 0.1 megapascal, 0.1 megapascal and 27 degrees Celsius, and 27 degrees Celsius. The compression ratio is 18. The compression ratio is 18. Compression ratio is 18. The pressure ratio, the pressure ratio for constant volume part, ratio